sorry for anyone who was waiting for me to go live, because I said 5 minutes about 30 minutes ago. But I think Facebook Live was having a little bit of a problem. So here we are. We are here today to talk about traditional and digital working together. I have a traditional background, so I actually wrote radio ads and billboards and have done websites and YouTube scripts and all sorts of really traditional types of mediums. And now, obviously, I am in digital mediums. So all I do mostly now is websites, social media. I help with traditional once in a while. Agencies will call me up. But I find that a lot of my clients ask, how can I combine the two? And some people ask if they should combine the two. So what I tell them is, yes, please do. Digital marketing is not here to completely eliminate any traditional marketing you may have done. It's supposed to be sort of a add-on to what you're already doing. So I am a huge advocate for the idea of doing traditional and digital marketing. So social media is supposed to be a two-way communication. It's sort of getting away from the one-way communication that traditional marketing usually is, which is, talking at people, spamming them, is kind of how we see it now. The mail outs that everyone has the no flyers sign, or radio, you have to switch TV commercials, you're switching and skipping past them. Anything that is not offering people something in return for watching, which is kind of what traditional medias were starting to turn into. And it was just sort of advertising agencies and companies talking at people as opposed to with them. So social media now has taken over that, and it's defined as a two-way communication. So why social media is so important and popular now is businesses are engaging with their audience as opposed to just kind of spamming content at them. Unfortunately, some companies do still just spam content at people through their social media platforms, but you'll notice that those platforms are not successful. So the purpose is to have engaging conversations, encourage comments and interaction. If someone responds, you respond back. So digital mediums are kind of the best option to engage with your clients. But a lot of people still invest in traditional marketing. I have a client who just completed a full digital marketing strategy, and they're actually doing some radio ads as well. And I don't frown upon that at all. In fact, I helped them write the radio ads, and it just having people hear your name more often. People need to hear your name at least 7 times usually before they even kind of, oh wait, what was that? They'll see your name, they'll scroll past it, they hear it in passing, whatever. After about 7 or 8 times, they'll actually start noticing that it's kind of there and it's happening. So having billboards or radio ads or mail outs definitely add to the conversation and people's ability to hear your company name more often. And then it'll help with recall. So, jumping elephant social media, jumping elephant social media, jumping elephant social media. You'll kind of see it everywhere. And then if someone doesn't need social media right now, they're not even going to think about it. They'll scroll right past it. They don't care. It's not relevant to them in this time. And then the moment that it is, oh yeah, I think I heard about this jumping elephant social media before. And that's where social media comes in, because they'll go on to Facebook, look it up, see what kinds of things I offer, head on over to the website, see all my other platforms there, read a blog or two, get to know me. That's kind of the process, hopefully, of a lot of consumers. And so that digital marketing paired with traditional marketing really is just for the purpose of awareness and getting your name out there. I have a lot of realtor clients who still do the mail outs every once in a while. The newsletters to their, not like MailChimp digital newsletters, but actual printed newsletters. I would recommend for the newsletter portion, maybe once in a while do a mail out, because people still like getting mail, whereas digital newsletters can get shuffled aside pretty easily. But that's why it's really important to have unique, engaging content, even in those newsletters. Don't just kind of put out your most recent sales, but give people a reason to read them. Anyway, so when people ask me, should I have digital and traditional marketing, and how can I merge them together? Usually when I do strategies, we do a section specifically on traditional ideas that they could do. And that's everything from the mail outs to radio to, I mean, most people can't afford TV commercials anymore. They're just beyond expensive, but, and even things like guerrilla advertising. So, you know, I guess a bad example, but one I see all the time is like the kid flipping the big arrow towards the pita pit. There's one nearby in Crowfoot, so I see him all the time. But those kinds of things are all traditional, and they still have a place. And once people see whatever it is that you've put out there, you want to bring them back over to your digital mediums where they can have a conversation with you, get to know you, build a little bit of brand loyalty. This cool little thing I just borrowed is a My Cinema Lightbox, and it is actually a form of traditional marketing. So this is not digital, obviously. I mean, it is. It has a little light. You can turn it on. But it is a traditional marketing, and I see it everywhere in trade shows. I find a lot of companies put their information or sales or company name on them up on their trade show booths. They have an awesome Instagram. They're kind of being used as like a merge between the two. So, for example, I'm using a traditional medium on my digital platform right now, a live video. And kind of this is one example of integrating things like that. So I feel like a lot of people still value this sort of, you know, tangible marketing material. And I have a client or a friend, sorry, who I borrowed this from, and they actually put their clients' names on it when they're going in for meetings. And I thought that was just the best idea. You know, it's not necessarily marketing. They already have the clients or maybe potential clients, and it's just a nice little added touch. And it's all that kind of stuff that you can share on your digital later. Take a picture of their names, post it, put a thank you for coming on there, tag them on it, whatever it is. These are really popular for bloggers, mom bloggers and lifestyle bloggers and whatever it is, because you can put some information on here. And that's kind of a traditional marketing thing, especially if you're in a storefront or whatever it is. But then it ends up being on their videos or on their Instagram or on their Facebook or their blog or whatever. So finding things like this, brochures are kind of the same. You can have them within your other digital mediums. So finding ways to integrate them is, I think, how you're going to be the most successful in marketing. If you just kind of focus on social media, and I mean, you can do awesome with it if you have a giant budget, because you can do Facebook ads and boost all of your posts and do a blog every day, and I mean, you can do amazing with pretty much just Facebook or just Instagram or just, I mean, in conjunction with your website always. But for smaller budgets, having some of those kind of small traditional things out there, doing a trade show every once in a while, setting up a booth, going and, I don't know, handing out cards downtown. Try not to be spammy about it, but there's some creative ways that you can do it. And having those mail outs or brochures, they can be expensive, but if you do them right and you make them valuable for people, please don't do those like door hangers or a weekly look at us kind of brochure. Be creative about it, and on that, direct people over to your digital. So if you're going to be doing something, you'll see I did a hashtag here. So I've made this traditional medium potential for digital. So people know JE Social is my hashtag. It's where I put a bunch of my memes and everything. You can do the same with mail outs. You know, if you put a mail out, say get whatever % off this new cupcake, if you use this hashtag, and it can be a hashtag specific to those mail outs so that you can track how many people use that. And then you can try to see the success of traditional marketing, which is sort of where traditional often falls flat. It's not as easy. You don't just have that little nice insights tab at the top where you can see how many people have come and how often and what their engagement is and what posts are more popular. And traditional, you just kind of have to cross your fingers and hope they tell you on the phone that they saw your ad in the paper. And that's kind of why people have also been transitioning over from the marketing side perspective. So using them together is really the most successful option you have for marketing your company. It doesn't have to be those old school traditional newspaper buyouts, but there are a lot of ways that you can do kind of in-person marketing and online marketing and join them together. So that's kind of, if you have questions, you can send them over to me. I'll be checking this thread later on. But just from a traditional background and now as a pretty much strictly digital marketer, I definitely see the value in combining the two. Tons of different industries, will have varying degrees of success with that. Where you spend your money should be measured all the time. Maybe you're not seeing the right return here, you have to switch it over to here. Maybe you put out one cold call and it turned around like that and you got to buy. Maybe you should start putting more effort into cold calling. Not something I'm great at. I'm kind of a hermit, a keyboard warrior behind the computer. But some people are just really awesome on the phone. So do what you're good at. Bus benches are, I do seminars for realtors all the time, and they always ask me about bus benches. And again, I tell them, have you got any calls saying that people have noticed it? It's unlikely that bus bench was the selling point for that person. It was the reason that they called. On the flip side, they did see that bus bench on their way home from work over and over and over. Now they need a realtor. What's one of the first names that pop into their head? Probably a name that they've seen quite frequently. So bus benches do still have that awareness factor. Let's see, what are some other ones? Bus ads. People are on the bus all the time. Now, most people, I think, when I'm on the train, everyone's looking down anyway. They're all on their phones. But once in a while, I look up and I scan, and maybe that's because I'm in advertising, so I'm trying to see what cool creative things are out there. But I still think it has to do with that awareness. If you have really a large budget, it's something that you can look into. Social media was kind of developed because smaller budgets were looking for ways to market themselves and stay current and kind of be on the same platform with the really big companies. So social media is a nice even playing field for everybody. Unfortunately for Facebook now, you do have to pay to play quite a bit, but it is still sort of a cheaper version, and you can take my word for it, than any of the bus benches, radio, TV, anything like that. I think radio is like $70 per time they play your ad, and usually you want them to play it 15 or 20 times a day, so it really adds up. So if for smaller budgets, like I said, blog and do social media posts and kind of keep on that content calendar, and it's going to be a little bit more work. But also get out there, do those trade shows. Don't be afraid to split up your marketing budget a little bit. About 5% of your whole budget should be for marketing. And I always like to tell clients, depending on what industry they're in, 2 to 3% of that can be for digital, and the other 2 or 3%, try to find somewhere else to put it and kind of spread your awareness around a little bit. So that's all I wanted to tell you. I wanted to introduce this cool little My Cinema Lightbox that I put like 800 different sentences on it before I decided. So JE's social at your service. And I like that it came with a hashtag. So digital, traditional, merging, that's it. If you have any questions about sort of a marketing plan that you're tossing around, please let me know. If you have no marketing plan at all, I can help you with that, and I will again come up with ideas for both sides. So don't be afraid to reach out. I like helping. Send me a message or comment on this thread, and have an awesome sunny day. What are you all doing here watching? Go outside. Bye.